I'm a very big fan of big numbers when it comes to increasing your positioning.
He is known as Mr. Big.
Can neither confirm nor deny.
Welcome to Business Growth Central with the Bottles.
The father and son's team who built dozens of seven-figure businesses
And generated over £100 million in sales.
And since 2010, we've run Entrepreneur Circle, the UK's largest organisation helping businesses to grow.
Every week, we're sharing practical tactics,
Swipeable strategies.
And powerful nuggets to help you to grow your business. This is Business Growth Central.
with the Bottles.
We're coming to you from Entrepreneur Circle HQ in Solihull, right in the heart of the Midlands, where there's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on.
There's always a lot going on. Goodness gracious, as with any business. But I think today, very special day.
It is.
Not just filming the podcast, but I mean, gosh, I don't know about you guys. I couldn't really sleep last night. Excitement.
Wow. Why is that, Cameron?
Because of what we're doing yesterday evening. The screening.
Okay.
The screening.
I know that we're not meant to talk about this. Non-disclosure agreements have been signed. But I think we can give a little hint, a little inside scoop to the podcast here.
Just be careful.
All I'll say is that certain members of the team may or may not have been viewing the director's cut initial edit of a certain TV show,
Yeah.
which may or may not be coming out
Sometimes.
sometime on some terrestrial TV channel.
Yeah, we filmed a TV program with a major broadcasting network, and it's a 90-minute program, and we got to see the first cut. It's been in the edit. We filmed it in August of 2025, and it's been in edit for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And we saw the first cut.
The suspense.
It's much quicker than I thought for TV. You know, I thought it would take a bit longer than that.
Yeah, these Hollywood films take like 2 years to edit. This isn't a Hollywood film, so they can be a bit quicker. The CGI element was very small, I think.
I was very nervous doing it. It's it is quite a big thing.
Going on TV, putting yourself out there in that way.
And again, we can't.
Millions of people.
We can't talk. We can't give too many details about this point. But as it is a 90-minute program, and it essentially one of the three of us.
Well, one features very heavily.
Yes.
One has a side part, and one definitely did not make the cut. Oh, on the chopping floor. Goodness gracious.
But I think what's important for the context of this of the podcast is for us to talk about why we did it, which is difficult in that we can't actually say what it is.
I assumed you were just seeking fame and fortune in Hollywood, and this was your first step there.
That's not true. No, it's not true. I was so reluctant to do this. It was because it was Cameron that initially brought this idea to me. We were approached by the production company, and when you came to tell me we'd had this approach, I was absolutely adamant that there's no way. I think I may have used expletives in my response to you.
Several, yes.
That we're just not going to do this. But you did chip away at me, and the fundamental reason, the tipping point really, was your persuasion of me that doing this program would be very positive for its impact on the business. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, who knows whether that will be true or not?
Oh God!
It was a very deliberate decision to do it, even though there was considerable discomfort, and even like last night. And actually, wasn't it funny? On watching the cut, you could see how uncomfortable I was and Sue was at the beginning, and how actually by the end we definitely kind of.
You really made it your own.
It's got to be one of the first 90-minute programs I've seen you stay awake for.
That is a little bit high.
It's only because we physically can't dim the lights in the boardroom when we watch it.
I do have a little bit of a track record of falling asleep in movies that are not sufficiently interesting, which is what will happen to this podcast if I don't care.
Goodness gracious. Well, we've got lots to talk about. A lot happened this week. Obviously, we had the screening and everything like that, but lots is going on. We've got new hires going on. We did all sorts of interviews and things.
We're growing the team, so there's lots of recruitment going on at the moment, for sure. We're in our planning cycle as well, aren't we? That's the other big thing. ago.
Oh my God.
What's the song? What is that? It sounds like a business owner needs help.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Oh, let's have a look what the question is for this episode. My God, it's stuck together.
Please.
Let's have a look.
Must be a good question.
Wow.
Gosh, it's from Lucy. Lucy says, I've only been in business for a year and some of my competitors have been around forever. Okay, I get that. Lucy, sometimes I doubt myself because of this. How can I compete with them when they're already well-established businesses? That's a good question.
It's a very good question, Lucy. One that I'm sure lots of people probably are thinking out, struggling with. You know, if you're the new kid on the block, a lot of industries are very established, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing is, we don't know here from Lucy's question, but let's assume that she does at least know what she's talking about with whatever it is that she does.
Assume she's good at the thing that she does.
So there's a level of competence. And if that's the case, there are lots of things that Lucy can do.
Yeah, I mean, existing for a long time does not itself mean that you're the best at what you do. I mean, it's helpful. It's indicative. The fact that you've not completely failed and just had to shut down is obviously useful. But there's lots that you can do as a business, especially if you're Lucy, if you're a newer business, to make yourself seem bigger and better and actually more the obvious choice for people who are looking for what you do.
We had I had someone in Entrepreneur Circle it's a little while ago. Is this he had an accountancy practice. And he was coming to us for some marketing help. And he was long established, Lucy. He'd been around a long, long time. And I was talking to him about how we should talk about the service that you provide, how you look after your customers, you've delivered for them over all these years. And he just looked a little bit uncomfortable. And I said, are you not okay with that? And he said, well, honestly, no. He said, because if I'm honest, we're not very good. which is exactly the point. Yeah, but that's exactly the point you're making. Yeah. Just because someone's been around a long time doesn't mean that they're actually
rubbish.
Well, you'd be surprised.
Oh, well, there we go. So, I think it would be helpful. There's lots of stuff here. Really, being an established business, it's a wonderful way to position yourself as a good business to choose when people are looking for what you do. But there's lots of other stuff.
I know what we should do. We should have a little competition.
A competition?
Yes, to help Lucy.
All right, then.
We should have a competition. So let's come up with the best ways that Lucy, or best things that Lucy can do that will help her to become a compelling choice in her market, that will help her to overcome the kind of head trash that she's got going on here, where she thinks that because she's new, she can't compete with these long-established businesses.
Got it.
All right? Yeah, I've got some good ones here, guys. You're gonna be wishing you'd not taken me on this.
Positioning top trumps, bring it on.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Go on then. What do you got?
Right, number one, Lucy. I'm starting low, just to be clear. This is not my main.
Give yourself room to breathe.
This is not my main play. All right, but it is very important, Lucy. And so many businesses neglect this. Is Lucy's Google business page, and it's completely free. And most businesses have kind of claimed it and it's there, but they've got very minimal information logged on it. And broadly speaking, the more input information you put into your Google business page, the more Google will reward you with more traffic and more exposure. And it's a really great way for Lucy very quickly to leapfrog the people that have been around a long time who have neglected or ignored their Google business page. They might have claimed it 5 years ago and done nothing with it since. And she can come in there. And Lucy, again, what I would really urge you to do here is put a little recurring appointment in your diary, like every fortnight. Like on a Tuesday morning, every other Tuesday, you go onto your Google business page and you add something to it. Because you can add photographs, you can post stories on there, make sure everything's up to date. If you've got price lists or menus or brochures or photographs, just go and add to your Google business page like every other Tuesday, and you'll be surprised at how quickly your web traffic goes up and your presence starts to grow. And it's a really great way to improve your positioning and get above and ahead of the competitors that have been around a long way.
All right.
There you go. That's my opening play.
I'll give you that one. Google Business Profile. That is good. I think every business should have that, even if you're not geographical, but especially if you're geographical.
But it's not just about having it. It's about develop and
Update.
just spending that
Keep
quarter
it
of an hour every other Tuesday. Tuesday's important.
Well,
It's not important. Any day.
okay, Google Business Profile, I like it. Let me tell you why Google Business Profile is so good. Because
it's-
updating it's one thing, but there's a real reason why a good Google Business Profile is powerful
Oh,
for
I know.
Lucy
I
and
know-
for everyone else.
I know where you're going.
And it's not the pretty pictures you upload, it's not the menu that is up there. The reviews. That's the key thing. That is what makes your Google Business Profile so powerful. And reviews in general, I think, are even better at positioning you as the best and at actually helping you to get those customers. Listen, you can be an established business. You can be 100 years old for all I care. If you've got 4 reviews
Yeah.
and only 2 of them are 5-star,
Yeah.
I'm not choosing you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the new business that's been up for 6 months who has 400 5-star reviews, right? That's the power of reviews. Reviews in enough quantity and at 5-star level can outweigh almost anything. You know, if you're looking at 2 options, one has 10,000 5-star reviews, one has 3. That's a lot of sway. This business is going to have to try really hard to convince you to get there.
And Lucy, don't underestimate the incompetence of business owners that have been in business for a long time. There's a lot of people around. You see this. A lot of people around doing fuck all, frankly, to develop and enhance. And there are businesses and some of them are actually very good, but they ain't got many reviews.
And you know what? I'll let you into a secret, Lucy, into getting all the reviews you need. Ask for the reviews. Crazy. We're just spitting nuggets left, right, and centre here.
Okay.
Most people don't even ask for reviews.
But let me take that even further.
Oh my
Lucy.
God.
Okay, ask for the reviews systematically.
Whoa.
It's true though.
It is very true.
I mean, and what that means is, building some kind of little workflow, building into your CRM system, and our tool that we do with Genie AI, where essentially every time somebody buys, they get an approach. I mean, the really smart way to do it is what you do is you reach out in a nice, engaging way, and you basically want to inquire that make sure they were happy, and obviously if they let you know that they were happy, they say, that's fantastic. Would you mind leaving us a review? We don't go out to everybody and say, would you leave us a review? Because occasionally every business pisses someone off sometimes. So it would be a genuine kind of follow up. It's a little bit like the restaurants. Most restaurants now, most good restaurants, will approach you once they serve the food. They'll come back a few minutes later just to make sure everything's all right with the food. They're doing that, so they've got a chance to correct it. That's the same kind of approach. Whatever the business is, if you're an estate agent, once the sale's gone through, you can.
And this is so easy. If you're a business where you're dealing with people, or your team are dealing with people in person, face to face, this becomes even easier.
Yes, it does.
Because the easiest way to get a review, once you've delivered what you want to deliver, once you know they're happy, in person, gosh, could you just do me a quick favour?
Yes.
If you've enjoyed this whole thing, do you have your phone on you? Could you just leave us a review on Google? Because it just means the world to us. It's such an important thing. They'll leave the review then and there. You can just build that into your process when you're dealing with your customers. Boom. This will happen. I had a great one. Don't want to spend too long on reviews, but I had a really good one when my kitchen was installed. So kitchen was installed. It was like a whole 2-week process to the installers going back and forth. And then at the end, the installer guy, like the main guy who'd been there at our house when we lived for 2 weeks,
Mr. Kitchen
himself, he said to me and my wife, he said, guys, final, this is from us, from a bottle of champagne or something like, oh wow, that's a good way to butter them up. A bottle of champagne. Also, just that if you were able to leave us a review and just mention my name, John, that means a lot. That actually really helps me out because it shows people that I'm doing a great job.
Yeah.
And that just, honestly, that's the best thing you could possibly do for me. Well, gosh, we were both pulling out our phones right there. John, of course, God, how do you spell that?
Yeah. Now this is really important, and this helps a lot. So, Malik, do you want to cut in?
How do you spell John?
Yes.
Sometimes there's an H.
That is true. But there was a florist that we did a lot of work with down on the south coast in Brighton, and they really developed their customer journey. And when the flowers were delivered, there was a little follow-up card went in. But long story, the card told the person the name of the florist that had made up their arrangements. And so your flowers were made by Laura. And if you've enjoyed the flowers, it would mean a lot to Laura. So this is the key little psychological thing. So it's not the business or the business owner asking a favour to help them.
Yeah.
It's asking to help reward and
This is the
recognise the
difference.
staff.
And this is why there'll be people listening, watching to this, who go, well, I've tried asking for reviews, it doesn't work. That's because you've sent an automated email with your massive logo at the top and your big unsubscribe footer at the bottom that says, oh, please leave us a review, with a button. And no wonder people haven't responded to that. You've got to humanize it. And this is true in almost every case of business. The more you can humanize each aspect of your business, make it about a person rather than some corporate entity, then the more response you're going to get.
And Lucy, this is honestly such amazing news for you, Lucy, because so many businesses are really at best mediocre at this. And what Cameron just described there is a classic case of what we call Bananarama syndrome, and named, of course, after the greatest girl band in music history. And
It's the way that you do it.
it ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. That is indeed what gets results. I think there could be a role for you in a Bananarama tribute.
So I'll say that's the that's the only phrase of any Bananarama song I know at all.
Sweet. Robert De Niro's waiting.
Right, well, enough on reviews, guys. Time to enter the game. To be fair, building on reviews, as you begin to collect a very large amount of reviews, that actually becomes a very useful big number. And I'm a very big fan of big numbers when it comes to increasing your positioning.
He's known as Mr. Big.
Can neither confirm nor deny. But big numbers are very helpful. And, you know, I look at this particularly through an advertising and marketing spend and how you can make yourself stand out. And a lot of business owners, they don't realize that actually they have some incredibly impressive stats or big numbers about their business that will greatly increase their positioning and make them very unique.
Or about themselves. Because think about Lucy's
Or about themselves. Yes, or about themselves and their previous experience. That can ultimately become a great differentiating factor. And so think of things about, you know, your years of experience that you might have trained in your particular field, the amount of hours that you might have spent studying around this.
Yeah.
A great one is just the number of customers that you have served. Because if any business, even if you've been around for not that long, look at how many customers have come through your doors.
There's a great clip in The Office, the American Office, where the warehouse manager, Daryl Philbin, is applying for the role of office manager. And his CV, his boss is reading it, and she goes, it says here, personally responsible for the delivery of 26 billion units of inventory. And she's like, what is that? And he's like, pieces of paper, because it's a paper company. He's just totaled up how many sheets of paper in all the reams and all the boxes that he's overseen. That's a great example of big numbers. You know?
Exactly.
He's not just saying, oh, I've delivered paper. I've delivered billions of sheets of paper. And even that is an exaggeration, but it shows that's much more impressive sounding.
100%, because I had one yesterday. It was a podiatrist, so they work with feet, and we were trying to help her craft some unique positioning points. And so turns out we looked at, okay, well, how many customers has she had into her shop? And she'd been operating for something like 17 years. And so we calculated it, and it was roughly 25,000.
Big number, 17 years.
In and of itself, so that's one there. Then it was 25,000 customers, but of course she's servicing their feet. So that's over 50,000 feet. And then you can go to the next level, which is the
500,000 toes.
Exactly. Another example being an estate agency. A friend of mine in the West Midlands, and they had a whole new website redesign. They were looking for their big positioning statement. And I just asked him, mate, you've been around for like 15 years, so that's good. Get that on there. But how many homes have you sold? What's the total value of those homes? Sum it all up. Over £1 billion worth of real estate sold in the last 15 years. Wow. And so those big numbers come into play.
Yeah.
Very unique.
So Lucy should be a little bit creative at look at.
Even if you're new at your business, even if your business has only been going for a few months, if you've been doing this thing yourself, you've been employed doing this thing for the last 10 years, then you've got 10 years experience. If it's not just you in the business, add up all the experience of all your team members.
Yeah,
and now the team that has over 100 years experience, there's all sorts you can do, and you can get creative with it. I will say, you know, you don't want to mislead people. You can't make stuff up. You can't lie. But there's not a rule that says you can't create your own stat.
Well, we'll come on to this, won't we? In terms of Lucy, this creating things and taking ownership of things. So we're dealing with Lucy's question that she's only been in business for a year. Some of her competitors have been around forever. She doubts herself and is concerned about how she can compete with them when they're so well established. So what we're doing on this same episode today is helping Lucy out with ways in which she can position herself credibly and competently to actually claim more than her fair share of the market. So we're playing top trumps of positioning. I led with Google Business Pages, really big thing, every other Tuesday. You came back in with reviews, which I'll give you is a major one. Mr. Big here has gone with his big kind of statement and his big numbers, which I like, but I'm going to take it down a different avenue, Lucy. And I want to go to Virginia on the
Country road.
eastern coast of the USA, where a very good friend of Entrepreneur Circle, someone that we've brought him, we've flown him across the Atlantic on 3 occasions now. The most popular speaker we've ever had at our big convention that we run every year, the National Entrepreneurs Convention, which we run every year for 1,500 business owners. I just did a positioning statement there, didn't I?
Look at that number of people.
I was living and breathing what we're talking about, Lucy. But we brought Marcus Sheridan across 3 times now to talk about his concept, which he was originally a pool guy, a swimming pool business.
Building pools.
Building pools, yeah. And long story, how he discovered this, just like the most powerful way to establish yourself in a market. And Lucy, you can do it whether you've been in business for 1 year or you've been in business for 101 years. And this is absolutely open to you. And Marcus's book, the first book, is called They Ask, You Answer. And essentially the principle, Lucy, is that you honestly and deeply answer the actual questions that potential customers, your prospects, actually have. And what you focus on is passionately educating your market. And those are the 2 keywords there. Passionately educate your market. And you would have on your website, you would have individual, essentially blog articles. The blog articles, the title of them is the question that the customers would ask. You would tackle all the things about price in your industry. You'd look at different services versus each other. You would compare things. You would passionately educate your customer, and nothing allows you to absolutely scythe through a market from I've just arrived to I'm king of the bloody heap than being able to passionately educate your market. And again, Lucy, there's a massive gap here, a chasm, a canyon-like gap in so many markets. And honestly, I'm feeling good. This is a major topic.
It's the old prove you can help them by actually helping them little tactic, isn't it?
It's amazing, but
Yeah.
but it works.
Yeah, I think,
And it works because when you answer questions honestly and openly, and I do really urge, because I can't do the book justice in these couple of minutes on this broadcast now, Lucy, go and get a copy of Marcus's book, They Ask, You Answer, and follow the methodology that he applies in there. You can absolutely do it, and you will just storm past so many of your competitors, what you'll do is you will acquire the trust and the confidence of people in your market.
And I think you see that nowadays. I think he's written a new book, he's updated it for the world and everything like that. But I think you see it nowadays, it's not just blog articles. You see, I see garden maintenance companies that have gone from one-man band to humongous businesses, like multi-million-pound businesses, because they've been posting advice and helpful videos on TikTok of how to care for your lawn. And it's the same principle, isn't it, in terms of going out there and offering value and helping people and answering the questions that people who need your services are going to be asking themselves, becoming known as the go-to person.
Yes.
Because you're already helping them. You're already answering the questions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, speaking of pools, the pool guy on TikTok.
The guy that actually he shows his projects, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, again,
Apply for the pool work.
No,
That guy,
it's
right? He just films himself cleaning all these pools, showing how it's done, explaining a bit about pool cleaning. If you need a pool cleaning, you know who to call now. You're not even going to go look at other people because
really,
you
really
position
true.
yourself as the person to do that. So you know what? I'll give you that one. That's a good one.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. It might even be better.
Are you both quite
Big
scared
numbers.
now? Are you both quite scared?
No.
Oh,
I think I have the best one. In terms of positioning, in terms of becoming the go-to person, in terms of making yourself the obvious choice, nothing comes close to awards. Awards. If you're an award-winning business, oh boy, this isn't even like a review that a customer's. This is an award that's been given to you. Other people who presumably know what they're talking about have anointed you with this award, and I think that it's such an underutilized tactic for so many businesses.
do you know why? I'll tell you what, this will be important to Lucy, because Lucy, in a question, she says, my competitors have been around forever. I've only been in the market for a year. Sometimes I doubt myself.
Yeah.
And Lucy, I bet Lucy hasn't entered any awards, and this is why it is a really good step, because the people that win awards, this is shock horror newsflash. I think we should disclose the reality of this to the
Letting
world.
into the secret.
The people that win awards have entered the awards.
Who'd have thought it?
That's the thing. That's the key.
It's like asking for the reviews. If you enter the awards, you're much more likely to win the awards. And I think that, particularly in business, okay, we don't need to win an Oscar for this or the other. There are so many awards out there, you'd be amazed. So many industry-specific ones, so many category-specific ones. I mean, we run the National Entrepreneur Awards, so we know a bit about awards. And you've got things like Best Customer Service Award that we have to judge and give to people.
Yes.
That's a tremendous award to win. If you are the winner of Best Customer Service.
Just to be clear, it's also a tremendous award to be a finalist.
Oh, you've stolen my bonus nugget. Goodness gracious. Because the wind out of my sails. But yes, it's true. Because you don't even need to win the awards. Even just becoming a finalist in the awards, a finalist badge and a winner badge look remarkably similar in your email signature and on your website. They've still got a nice gold badge around them. And, you can't lie. Again, you can't make up the fact that you can't make up your own award and give it yourself. You can't claim to have been a finalist or a winner on an award that you haven't become a finalist or a winner on. No. But even if you're a finalist in an award, tell the world about that.
Absolutely.
Make that obvious to be there. We've got members who've been with EC for a long time now who have been following this advice. I had one the other day. I got an email from this woman, and her email signature, it's like her name and her business name, and then it's like this deep with all the award logos, going back to like 2012, like all these awards. Flipping heck, you get an email from that person, you think, wow, this is the place.
And it helps with positioning. But even Lucy, who can't go back to 2012 because she's been in business a year, but just, Lucy, go on to the best way to find out about awards is...
Goodness gracious. I mean, I start by Googling them.
Or going to your best friend, ChatGPT.
It's like my best friend. Later. I mean, he knows nothing about awards. No, but I mean, a great example of this. Okay, see if either of you remember this. There used to be a restaurant many, many years ago now in Padstow in Cornwall, which we used to frequent. Good holiday destination. And there was this tiny restaurant on the hill as you walk down into the harbour. I swear to God. The entire window, it's a really small, it's probably about as wide as this table, like the entrance into it was really small.
It was called Margot's.
Margot's. The entire front of this restaurant was just award stickers. What? You could barely see through the window. It was all these, 5-star this, Michelin this, blah, 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 AA rated, everything. Every possible credential that a restaurant could have was on this window. And I used to walk past and go, flippin' heck, this is like the best. Is this Gordon Ramsay's restaurant? Like, this is the best restaurant in the world. It's so good. And if I wasn't 7 years old at the time, I would have definitely booked a table and actually gone into this thing. And I think that, again, we talk about email signatures and websites, but in person, if you've got a reception area, start collecting award trophies, start collecting certificates and badges and stickers and put them everywhere. You want to make sure that people interacting with your business can see that you are worthy of these awards.
Yeah.
And like we said, it doesn't matter if you don't win, even if you're a finalist. In a lot of cases, the award can be real obscure. Not very many people go up and read the trophy, but if you've got a big trophy, it still looks impressive.
Absolutely.
And so awards, bosh, I think that's a great thing. And you know what? I know for a fact, even though I don't know Lucy at all, she'll qualify for at least a finalist. in several
In
awards.
something. Yeah.
Multi-award nominated is just as good in many ways as multi-award winning.
Award winning, goodness gracious.
So are you giving it then? Are you yielding defeat on this one? Have we,
No, I think the awards have served as some good inspiration because, especially thinking about what you can display on your windows and actually the physical presence of a trophy, reminds me of the impact that presence can have in and of itself. And so,
presence.
presence.
Oh.
The physical presence, not gifts,
Okay.
but the physical presence.
Exactly the same.
Lucy, go and give everybody a present.
So obviously I always had this saying in my agency days, that with all the work that we did,
Just explain that a minute, because not everyone listening to this will understand your agency days.
Okay, so I used to run a marketing agency where we would do ads and marketing stuff for businesses. And I was a very big believer in that how something looks is almost more important than the thing itself. And so we tried to position ourselves as a very high-end agency that would charge lots of money. And whilst we would do some amazing stuff, we were always acutely aware of how we would present back, whether it's a marketing report or even just the assets we would create for our clients, the way we would package it up and how it just looked, the presence that it had, would have a massive impact on the perceived value of it. And so putting time and effort into doing things that elevate your presence, be it physical, if you have, the benefits of a location. Again, not sure what business Lucy's in, but if she does, that's great. And getting things on your walls and your stickers and stuff like that is helpful. But also from a digital perspective, making sure that what people see, whether it is your Google My Business profile, whether it is your website, that it actually looks nice. And all the things we mentioned so far, be it the awards and whatnot, they go a great way to improving that presence. But in particular, the more physical, real stuff you can do, I'm a big fan of that. And, it's something that we got to experience to, the 10th degree when we moved into our new office here. So we moved into our big new building here at Blythe Valley Park in Solihull, and it's got, it's a beautiful building, I'm sure. You'll see some pictures of it somewhere. It's got the Entrepreneur Circle logo on it, and it's really cool. And so one of the first things I wanted to do was to take our ads that had been running and basically refilm them, but just stood with this ginormous building behind us. Because the very fact that we owned that building and it had a sign on, it's a great signal of presence. It's a great signal of credibility. You can't fake that. Yeah. And as a result, what we immediately saw was that our ads, the performance just went through the roof. Yeah. And the building was an amazing asset. Now, not the most practical advice for most business owners.
But a 15,000 square foot building, not even trying.
But if you have got things, then you should take advantage of them.
The car valet in Lincolnshire, who's got his van wrapped.
Absolutely.
Dayman. But he's got his van looks great.
The van looking good. Quotes. So many people, you get a quote from anyone, could be a decorator, could be whatever it is. Oh, you get an email. Sometimes you get like a WhatsApp. It'll be this much, whatever. Compare that to physical, in the post, quality paper, little shimmer to it, nice little folder, all branded, looking nice, printed thing. Physical, high quality quotes will convert better than sending a quick email. Is it more expensive? Yes. Is it more hassle? Yes. Will you convert and close more jobs because of it? Absolutely, you will do. And in almost every case, it's definitely worth that extra effort to actually make the things that you're sending out, particularly to get new customers, look and feel more present.
Essentially, Lucy, the point for you here is, as a 1-year-old business competing against 15, 20-year-old businesses, is to show up differently in a physical way. And that it may be the print, it may be the vehicle, it may be the building.
It also can be a digital way.
Yes, it
can. So many people's websites, it's too easy to make a website nowadays, right? But you know what? We can all tell you've made your own website. We can all tell that this is just a Squarespace template.
Yeah.
And you know what? Even having a professional looking website, you don't need to go and pay someone thousands of pounds to make a website for you, but making sure your website doesn't look homemade, doesn't look cobbled together, but it does give off the right energy, that it has the right presence, and the same is true with your email signature, with your Google Business profile, like we all say.
So when all these things are aligned, because we mustn't forget the Google Business pages, the reviews, we mustn't forget the big numbers and the power statements, the that they ask you answer, the knowledge centre, the passionate education of your customers, Lucy, the getting entering some awards. If you enter some awards, Lucy, I promise you, you're going to end up as a finalist or a winner of something. You know, all these things help you to compete against these big boys and girls that have been in the market for quite a long time. Got any more for Lucy?
I mean, there's all sorts you can do. Probably like Lucy, write a book, you know? Tell you what, if you want to become credible and established, being an author, it's a weird thing that happened in the psychology of human beings, you know? Someone having written a book, someone being published, just really elevates that person. I've always thought this, because no one checks what you say in a book. All these self-help books and things like that. Who's checking that the self-help's actually good? But everyone reads a book and the information in it.
Well, most people will buy a book and not read it.
Yeah, but just having a book, I guess, does give you.
Well, it does, and you know,
so it feels like quite a lot of work for Lucy to do.
it's almost on par with buying a 15,000 square foot office building, isn't it? But I think that if you're in a right industry, you know, if you're actually if you were a coach or something, for example, then writing a book's a really smart thing to do. If your business is sharing your knowledge and wisdom, then actually writing a book, it's almost the ultimate they ask you answer kind of strategy.
Well, but isn't there an opportunity to repurpose once you've done your knowledge centre and you collate all your questions that you've answered to passionately educate your customers? It could be.
And also, to be fair, to rein it back in, a book does not have to be 300 pages.
No.
In fact, you know, one of our old clients had tremendous success writing a beautiful little short book, and it was something along the lines of like 20 ways in which you can grow an amazing franchise business. And he was a franchise business. And then that became a fantastic asset. His LinkedIn bio is, you know, published author of this book, and he's leveraged the positioning and he created the thing in less than a week.
Books, and the way to think about books, they're just like the ultimate business card, aren't they? That's the thing.
They are, and I think that, you know, there's plenty of quicker wins in terms of positioning yourself. I would do everything else and then look at the book.
Yes.
But if you want to really take this seriously, if you want to make the established businesses in your industry turn around and go, what the heck? Where did they come from? Where did Lucy come from? All of a sudden, she's, bam, top dog.
Yeah.
Who are we? I've been around for 40 years, but it doesn't matter now. Then having a book. This is where things like, you know, even as association, this is a real great little hack, little cheat sheet for credibility. Borrow someone else's credibility. You know, we have that a lot here at Entrepreneur Circle. People discover us. Who are these guys? But then they see pictures and clips and videos of everyone we've had on our stage, of you know, you interviewing Stephen Bartlett, of, you know, you with Richard Branson, of you know, every famous entrepreneur in the flipping country on the EC stage, on our website. All of a sudden, we become more credible.
Yeah.
We're piggybacking on their credibility.
And we give all our members, like at the convention, all our members can get photographs with our celebrity speakers.
Yeah, that's
So
not just a fun thing
which
to,
is,
do to
and
show your friends and family.
That's the point.
It's because actually a picture of you next to, you know, insert very famous business person, gives you the credibility. Now you're piggybacking on that credibility as well.
true.
So association, things like that, I think is another quick hack. But there's a recurring theme, I feel, we should bring together for Lucy here, because no one else is going to do this for you, Lucy. And it's almost the curse of a business owner, but also the perk of being a business owner.
Especially, let's be honest, especially British business owners. Because as Brits, we do tend to be quite inhibited and a little bit modest. And Lucy, you've got to take ownership of this fundamentally. We've given you some tactics and some strategies over the last half hour or so, which hopefully will be helpful to you. But Lucy, you've got to take ownership of this. And you know, your question, you talk about, you've been in business for a year, you know, some of your competitors have been around forever. You know, the way you compete with that, Lucy, is you have to take responsibility and self-anoint. You're going to have to recognise, and it might be uncomfortable, and I understand that fully, but the future of your business, which is an important, significant thing in your life, depends on your willingness to go into that uncomfortable space and self-aggrandize a little bit. And don't be modest with what you put on your Google business page. Don't be shy asking for the reviews. Don't be too inhibited with the numbers that you quote in your power statements and your use of big numbers. You know, carve out some time. If you just have a couple of 90-minute sessions a week to start properly answering the questions using the structure in Marcus Sheridan's book, it'll make a big difference, Lucy. But you've got to have the confidence to do that. Similarly, asking ChatGPT for the best award to enter for your industry, and then actually going and entering some of those awards, Lucy. Taking responsibility to self-anoint yourself as, I may only be here a year, but I'm a player in this market. I am bloody good at what I do. And if you're thinking of buying what I sell, you should at least talk to me before you make that buying decision. And Lucy, that bit is where you've got to stand up and be counted and take ownership. Because as it says, our big entranceway here, we've got a it's a 35-foot wall graphic, Lucy, and it says on there, it's all your fault. And whether you compete with these long-established businesses or not, Lucy, it's all on you. I think we've done for today, guys.
Goodness, I think Lucy, everyone else watching, listening, has plenty to take away. That's your homework, guys.
Okay.
Self-anoint.
Business Growth Central will be self-anointing itself with yet another episode.
The #1 podcast. Let's go.
Number one at what? Doesn't matter.
We'll have worked it out by next week. Thanks for listening. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.